Your Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, I'm truly happy to be here to greet you on behalf of the Romanian government and also on behalf of the incoming Romanian presidency of the Council of the European Union. I'm happy to be here for three reasons, which I will explain briefly. The first one is the fact that the beer sector is one important sector in Romania. It is growing. It's growing both in absolute terms and in relative terms, and provides an important contribution to the Romanian economy. Secondly, we're always happy to support brewers of Romania wherever and whenever we can, both in terms of policy making, when we negotiate legislative acts in the Council, but also in practical terms. We're happy also to associate always with the brewers of Romania for different events. For example, we started recently an event, a beer summer party for the diplomatic corps at the European Union. It was inspired by the diplomatic mission of Czechia, of the Czech Republic. And the reason was that they started a wine summer party. And I said, if the Czechs are starting wine summer party, why not Romania a beer summer party? So this year, next year will be the third edition, and we're also growing this event to make beer and Romanian beer popular in the diplomatic circles at the EU. And thirdly, I'm happy to be here to continue the celebration for my country. Since 3 days ago, we celebrated 100 years of modern Romania. 1st of December was our national day, but also centenary of modern Romania. So what better opportunity to raise a glass of beer, a good beer, Romanian beer for our country. So thank you very much for inviting me here. Very briefly, just to mention a few of our priorities for the next presidency of the Council of the EU. That will start from 1st of January 2019, next year. It will be a very challenging period for many reasons. You can imagine that at the end of a legislative cycle, many legislative files are there because they're too complicated, too sensitive, too delicate. We'll try to complete them, to work, to negotiate with the Parliament, but in a very brief period of time. We also have Brexit that will happen in the middle of our presidency. We have the EU budget also to deal with and try to advance. It's a very important piece of legislation. So this will be the context for our presidency. Now, in terms of priorities, there are many, of course, and many that are of interest for you. We will concentrate on things that are relevant for the future of Europe, because that would be a mark of our presidency, the focus and the concentration on what's next in the next decade for Europe. We want to give to all generations of Europeans a confident message for the future, about the future. So that's why we will concentrate on things that we see as important sources of growth for the next decade. The first one is digitalization. That's relevant and it's present everywhere in the EU policies. The second one is decarbonization and climate policy and policies and sustainability. And of course, with these two sources of growth, we also will concentrate on social and labor rights, because in Europe, as you know, with every growth model, you can also add and synchronize with the labor and social rights. These are important for European citizens. And also a fourth priority will be the single market, to consolidate what we see as the core of the European Union, the internal market and all that it is associated with this. Now, what is relevant for the beer sectors are many of these issues that I mentioned. For example, decarbonization and climate policies. Recently, EU Commission launched a long-term strategy on decarbonization. That's, it will be important for the whole European society and economy. We will see and be part of a transition to low emissions for carbon emissions. But this is just one side of the story, because with climate change, there is an important effect also that we need to take into account. It's the adaptation. Adaptation to climate change is less spoken about, but is very important. And when we discussed a couple of months ago to come here to talk about this, we started from a report that maybe many of you have read about the situation of the beer sector 30 years from now in relation to climate change. The news was not good. The fact was that in many countries the prices of beer will increase because of low availability of materials because of climate change, and also consumption that might go down. So this is a problem that we need to solve also. How industries, how people can adapt to climate change, and that will be also on top of our priorities. So not only mitigation of climate change, but also adaptation, and to see and to study and to support industries like yours to be able to take care or mitigate the effects of climate change. Another important issue will be sustainability. I know that your industry is also preoccupied with the circular economy, and that will be also high on our priority. We'll also have as a key issue and key priority water management. Another issue that is important, is crucial for you, but for many industries, and we'll see because of climate change a competition for water resources, but also we need ever higher standards of water management and quality, water quality. So that's another priority for us, and also in terms of food industry, agriculture, we'll try to finalize, if possible, with the European Parliament, the General Food Law. That is also for many of you of interest. So these are, in a nutshell, our priorities. I hope we will be able to do a good job. We cannot promise anything, but the only pledge that we made was to work hard, to double, to triple our efforts, because we know that it's a challenging period, and that's what we ask also from colleagues in the Council and in the European Parliament. So having said that, I wish you a best year next year, and also please raise a glass tonight for Romania, for my country, for the celebration of 100 years of modern Romania. Thank you very much.